to the LFG Pats Pod with your hosts, Joe and Mike. Let's go!
All right, welcome into the LFG Pats Pod, and
what do you got, Joe? What do you got, Joe?
Take a big, deep sigh. Episode 46, boys. It's not all bad, but there's a lot of bad. I'm just going to throw that out there.
There's a lot of bad.
So we got some special guests here. We got Brycen, who is trying to share this on X.
There he is.
There he is.
It's not working.
We got
My
Brycen.
timeline wasn't refreshing.
You got
That
Tom
worked.
Brady DDoSing Brycen again. You know, he's trying to connect on his laptop earlier. He's having problems. So Tom Brady's at it again. Maybe it's Jordan, you know, with the Orchids of Asia shirt. Maybe she's fucking with the podcast too. Who knows? But we also she loves you. I'm not going to ask. And then we got BriTalksPats. Thank you, Bry, for joining. And so we got some special guys here. And we got a whole bunch of shit to talk about. Like, I'm saying, I don't know how long this is going to be. It's going to be a long one, boys. But we're going to skip the sponsors just for today because, again, we have so much to talk about. Rogue Island and Horizon HVAC. Everyone's heard about them. They're amazing. Go to them. But we're just going to jump into it. So we got 3 segments today. We got the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think we all have some good topics for each one. I'm going to throw it to Brycen instantly, and we're going to go right into the good.
Good. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you all for letting me on this podcast. As you can see, these people have extraordinary sponsors, and may I say, probably more to come. So I've heard, so really big ones, but I'm not involved because I'm just a lowlife. So I get nothing. I just come on here. They're nice enough to let me on here. So thank you guys. Well, I mean, it wasn't good. Let's be honest. It was bad. But, you know, as far as the season goes, I really did thoroughly enjoy that season. The Super Bowl win, if that would have been a win, would have been one of my favorite Super Bowls, probably without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I was at Super Bowl 49, and, you know, we've seen many Super Bowls, but that's just my opinion. It was one of my favorite seasons and how it came together and how great Drake was and how great Vrabel was and how great everything was. Until it really just started to get really hard. And we take these moments for granted, you know, when you get to a playoff game, when you win a playoff game, when you win the division. It used to be T-shirt games. We just stopped caring about those. And then we realized, like, wow, T-shirt games are actually really awesome. And so I really do hope that the good that we actually take from the season is that next year is we have the same attitude. Because a good that I saw that came from the season that has really nothing to do with football is people now know you don't mess with Patriots fans, okay? And this was my goal from the whole start of the season. I told you guys, like, even if you're Tom Brady, when you hear the noise of Patriots fans, you're going to change your mind. And you're going to, I don't want anything to do with this. I'm going to pick nobody because you're scared, because we're going to be there and we're going to confront you. And people will know that we lives amongst them and we rule the world. You know, I said this and people got mad. It's like, if the Patriots win the Super Bowl, we'll talk about this for 2 months. If the Patriots lose the Super Bowl, everyone forgets about it by Wednesday. And here we are, like, no one's talking about the Seahawks. They really are just talking about Drake May. So the good thing is that really the Patriots as a brand are back. And we really did need that. Everyone needed that. Robert Kraft needed it. We needed it. So let's just say we're back as Patriots fans. And next year, I hope that we all take from this and are just as intense next year. I expect it to be.
I like it. Bri, what do you think? What's the good? Give me the good about the season, the game. What's the good here? The silver lining.
I think for me, the good is, by the way, thank you guys for having me. Love the pod, love talking Pats with you guys. It's been a hell of a season. And I think as we've all kind of been traversing through the app and just kind of enjoying what this season has brought us. Honestly, it's been great to be back. Honestly, Brycen kind of hit it on the net, hit the nail on the head there. For me, the good is that we're back. I don't think you can take away the fact that the Patriots brand is back as something we can talk about. And the fact that people are talking more about the Patriots and the Seahawks winning is actually kind of, you know, making his point. You know, it's all about us again, and I kind of like that. You know, it's the way for me it should have been. And that's all. That's a good thing. I mean, and the good also for me is the fact that, you know, I feel like we were so far ahead of schedule that this season I don't take it for granted. You know, I don't take it as a cope when I say, you know, like, I was a great season, but I'm actually pretty devastated that we lost. But then again, I also lived through '07 and 2011, and I think I'll be okay. But I think the good also is the fact that I still believe in Drake May, and I feel like this is only going to fuel him, and I expect bigger and better things next season. And I'm happy that we have the franchise quarterback that we have, and I'm not going to let whatever happened during the postseason deter from that. We'll get into the other things, you know, later on, but that's honestly been the greatest part, you know, is the fact that we are back, and we just kind of snatched it from the Bills, for example, who, you know, have been trying to get where we are forever, and we just kind of did it in one rebuild year. So that's pretty much it.
Love it. Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, I honestly think it's a double-edged sword, right? I mean, we had such a great regular season. We got lucky in the postseason, and then we ended up ultimately getting exposed. So some of the things that were positive about this season, we're going to spend the rest of the offseason talking about. And I'm talking about me personally. And the loss that we just suffered in the Super Bowl, I'm going to spend today talking about. And then I'm probably not going to talk about it for the rest of the year because I'm going to want to move on to the rest of the season because we're starting our offseason a lot later than all the other teams. So there's going to be things to consistently talk about. So that's what I'm going to focus on. But yes, our run was fantastic. Drake May did get exposed in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. We all have a lot of opinions about what happened in the Super Bowl as far as the game plan, as far as who was hurt or not hurt, as far as all those things that people are talking about right now. I told Joe I took a moratorium yesterday. I didn't go into any Patriots or NFL news. I had to take one day of mourning before I was able to come back into the real world and get back into what's going on here. So what we did was dynastic. Don't get me wrong. The fact that we even got to the Super Bowl was a ridiculously awesome run. We all had great time doing all this whole entire run. All of us. We just started this podcast in April. We had no clue. Me and Joe thought it was going to be an 11-win season. We had no idea that we were going to go all the way to the Super Bowl, which is great. The Super Bowl itself, and I don't know how far we're going to get into the actual minutiae of the game, but it was a cluster on every possible level. And there's a couple of things to say about that. But for right now, on balance,
But the good though, Mike, the good. You stick to the good. We're gonna.
You have to. Well, if you would let me finish my sentence, we would on balance. We have a lot to build on. We have so much stuff to build on, and we have so much stuff to grow on. That my optimism it's pointing through the roof right now. So I'm very happy about it. But I can't not mention the fact that I'm disappointed about losing the Super Bowl in the way that we did. But as far as the barometer pointing up, I give it to the Patriots. I think they're going to grow off of this and be an even better team next year. Even though they have a terrible schedule, it's going to be a really rough schedule, but we're going to grow through the draft. We're going to grow through free agency, and we're going to be a better team. We're going to be back in the same boat next year.
I love it. Yeah, and as far as my good goes, I think we've seen enough of the growth from our young players, right? Just think about, drafting, looking at the draft, right? We all came away from that draft like, wow, we just knocked this out of the park, right? And it's funny, one of the guys that we all were kind of like questioning was like Craig Woodson, really? A fourth round pick? Where was he on everybody else's board? It felt like almost a Belichickian reach, right? Come to the Super Bowl, right? Holy shit, Craig Woodson had a great playoff run and an even better Super Bowl. So, we learned a lot of different things, right? We learned Ramondre Stevenson, right? We were all out on him. Mike Vrabel stuck with him, and he came back from injury. And I don't know why. We'll get into why did Why did we quit on him in the second half of the Super Bowl? I don't understand that. But Ramondre Stevenson, Craig Woodson, Milton Williams and Barmore together equal just phenomenal pressure and run defense, right? And which we saw that in the Super Bowl. We showed that we can hang with anybody, right? And they're still going to upgrade that defense. But if we maintain that defense, that to me was unbelievable. I was like 9 points. They could that Seahawks team has scored far more points against other teams, and so that respect that we got that hands down. Like that's one thing that we have that we can hang our hats on. That clearly Gonzo's getting a blank check. Clearly we're going to sign some of these guys, whether it's Gibbons or Chason or any of these guys that are on 1-year prove-it deals. We'll sign the right players, I believe. And we have a ton of picks. We got a ton of cap space. Stephon Diggs got, a $20 million option. I don't think we're picking that up. And if we do, it's going to be restructured. Tons of ways for them to restructure and make moves. And I just think I'm just giddy of the idea of signing a big, either trading for or signing a big D end. And you just think of, and I know everyone was against it, including Wolf, trading 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. But just imagine that Super Bowl with Myles Garrett. Like, just imagine Sam Darnold facing that front. And it's not
any defensive end that could set the edge. Anybody that could set the damn edge.
Kenneth Walker or Sam Darnold. Imagine if we had an elite edge setter and pass rusher. Like, forget
Kayvon Chason got exposed, but I'm sure we'll go into that.
Yeah. So that's my good. I think we're all on the same page that we have a franchise quarterback. We've got a defense that's elite, and we can still add to it and make it even better. And we have, I don't know. Those are probably all the good I'd say right now. All right. Now let's get into the bad. And guys, I want to remind you, we still have the ugly. So you got to differentiate between bad and ugly. Okay. So Brycen, give me your bad.
All right. So I leave the X and O's to the experts. I like that stuff, but I'm not a pro in that stuff. Okay. And scouting is not a hard thing, right? They get paid minimally. Football is really not about scouting. It's not usually the scouting that's wrong. It's usually like, well, can this guy play here? What will he do? It's usually like the questions after. So I worry about like the macro stuff. And a lot of the reasons why you will see that I can be right about stuff is that I just am able to see stuff from a macro level. So when I see stuff like this happen, what happened in the game, it makes me nervous for next year. And I'll tell you why. And you guys are not going to like this, but this one, I am worried about this, seriously. You go into the game, okay? This is what the Patriots are thinking. This is their cope. We're the Patriots. Let's all cope real quick. We run the Patriots. We're all sitting around. We're like, okay. I'm like, okay, Brian. Well, Will Campbell is hurt. Yeah, so he'll come back next year and he'll be way better. And so Drake didn't play very good. His shoulder was hurt, so he'll come back and he'll play really awesome next year. And it really wasn't the wide receivers, and they were actually really awesome. And did you see the tight ends? Like there was that one play where he was open and Drake overthrew him, so they're actually good. And I can just see it from miles away. That is going to be the cope. It's going to be, oh no, actually, Will Campbell is really awesome. And actually Drake was just hurt. And so, and the wide receivers, you have Diggs, and remember how great Booty is. And this is why I attack people that overrate players. This is why I do it. It's because we come to the off season and your words matter. The words that the fans say got Gerard Mayo fired. That's how much your words mean as fans. You got Mike Vrabel. The Patriots are moving right now. They have been moving off what the fans want. That's why they drafted Will Campbell. You guys wanted it really bad. They did it. You wanted Vrabel really bad. They did it. You wanted Mayo out really bad. They did it. Now everyone's sitting around. No one wants to be the one to say this, but I will do it, and I always will do it because it has to. I always push the Overton window. I did it on Will Campbell. I did it on Gerard Mayo. I'm going to do it right now. The cope this offseason cannot be that Stephon Diggs is a good wide receiver to have as your best wide receiver. Hunter Henry cannot be your best tight end, okay? This offensive line cannot look like that. Look, I'm a guy that will sit here and tell you I think Drake did not play great, but there's a lot of times where Drake cannot do anything. So it's like, pick your poison there. Sometimes he was bad, straight up. And a lot of
14 pressures is going to hurt you. 14 pressures, right?
exactly. But a lot of times it's just like Austin Hooper's not running a sharp enough route, or like Booty is getting completely dominated. And this is what I worried about all year. And I worry the bad of this game is we're going to walk away and they're going to say, okay, no offense, Joe, but this is what they're going to do. They're going to, okay, if we can just, let's just draft that guy in the first round that can set the edge. And then if we could just get a, and by the way, Jared Wilson's only 22 as well. Why doesn't he get the same excuses? It's like, if we just have a left guard and then we'll just get a right tackle, and then we'll find ourselves in these positions in these big games where, they didn't really score too many points and they were great defenses, but I think they're going to need like that. It's cringe to say, I know, I get it, that number one wide receiver upgrade at tight end, because
I'm with you.
if they see this as anything but that, we are done. It's already over. If we go through this offseason, they're like, no, we're actually good with Diggs and we're good with Kyle Williams, who's nothing, and we're good with Hunter Henry, and we're good with all this stuff. That can't be. We cannot have that.
We can't do what we did to Brady for years, right? We did it to Brady for years and years and years, and David Givens and all these bullshit players. And
We
Brady
need
made it work
upgraded
because you're
talent.
Brady.
And
But
he's the
He's an
GOAT.
upgrade.
And Drake, you see it on Brady when he has these guys that are not getting open. Brady is stepping up, and he's the best quarterback of all time. And you need to give Drake these kinds of players that can really help him, because the defense is right there. It's all solidified. You have everything you need. Maybe you hit on a defensive end in the 6th or the 4th or the 3rd, or I don't care. But the Patriots need to invest heavily, if not in free agency, in the draft, and tight ends and wide receivers and things to make their offense much better. They cannot be the scheme team. Scheme teams die in the playoffs. You always see the scheme teams die. We need a good set of work.
push the chips in. Push them in. Push the chips in.
This is the year, right?
I'm with you.
That's the bad.
Bri, give me your bad.
I actually have a couple of bad, not ugly, but for me, it's one of the things that supposedly received praise all season, and all I heard was Josh McDaniels has done such a great job developing Drake May. He's done such a great job, setting him up for success, putting him in position to be successful. Even for large amounts of the season, the guys who were Drake May naysayers would point the finger and say, well, Josh McDaniels is the reason that Drake May is receiving,
Brady.
all this
Tom
praise
Brady.
or all these accolades, or the reason he's having the success rate that he's having, and that's why his completion percentage is I can't even begin to tell you just how bad this offensive game plan was from the get-go, because I felt like nothing was different than from what they presented in the regular season. Matter of fact,
Brian, what did they do? Why did Josh McDaniels come out with that particular set?
I don't know. It
was freaking vanilla and ridiculous and stupid.
It was just one of those things where you have 2 weeks, right? You have 2 full weeks to sit there and be like, we need to come up with a game plan where now we don't have the weather. We have this mobile quarterback who can use his legs. He may be have injured, so we need to get him in rhythm quickly. They're obviously going to crowd the line of scrimmage. Everyone knew this. Brycen knew this. You guys knew this. They were going to test May's ability to make quick reads, because everyone knew that Will Campbell and Jarrett Wilson struggled all playoffs long, and they could not block a standing fucking dummy. And I just looked at that game plan and I saw it for 3.5 quarters, where literally it was the most passive, vanilla, cowardly called fucking game I've ever seen in my life. It was just absolutely atrocious for a guy who received assistant coach of the year to come up with that game plan. It's borderline ugly, but it's
my ugly, so I'll
but
spoil
but it is bad in terms of you have 2 weeks of preparation. You received all this praise all season long, and not what's even worse is that nobody's saying one fucking word about how terrible of a game plan in a game called this was from Josh McDaniels.
And I'll up you one there, Bry, because I would argue that he had 3 weeks. Because if you look at the Broncos game, what did he actually show in that game? That game was by this first half, maybe second half was a complete blizzard. It was completely hand the ball off, don't turn the ball over, punt. So I would argue he had 3 weeks, because if that Broncos game is a normal weather game, then maybe you have to show something. So I actually said it on the pod last week. I said, he's got 3 weeks. We have the advantage. I literally said, we have the advantage. How many fucking Super Bowls have Josh McDaniels been in? And that's the fucking bullshit we had to watch. Trust me, you hit a sweet spot. You
there was nothing different about that game plan that I had not seen in week 6, week 4, week 12. It was the most basic thing you could possibly come up. There was zero creativity, nothing new that I saw. And again, where there was just, it was just like watching them line up in Seattle was just kind of, okay, they're just lining up and they're just putting the tight end in motion. Okay. Oh, the second run draw, second down run draw. Okay. Halfback dive up the middle. Okay. Travion Henderson fucking running into his own fucking linemen. Okay. Like nothing was done differently than what they've done all season. And it just shows, I know that in hindsight, like, oh, Mike Vrabel has done a good job, and no disrespect to Mike Vrabel. This is not a shot directly at Mike Vrabel, but this is the whole reason why I wanted an innovative offensive mind like Ben Johnson to begin with, because at least you get some creativity with a guy like May, where you can expand on his potential. And I just feel like Josh McDaniels it was just so painful to watch that it honestly made me absolutely ill watching that game called the way it was being called. And it was just, you gave Drake had no like Drake May, hurt or not hurt, had no shot, because you have your left side can't block, your right side it still gives up pressure from here to there, and on top of that, your offensive coordinator, it literally does nothing for you. Nothing was called. He just called the game scared the entire time. It was awful.
Pretty much.
Vomit. Mike.
Well, I'm gonna have to. I mean, I don't mean to piggyback off of him, but in the bad category was definitely Josh McDaniels' game plan. And he already said all the things that I was gonna say. But why would you like? I could watch the game, and I'm watching the game, and I see all the the blitzes, the extra guy, the 5th guy's coming, the 6th guy's coming, and you can see it on camera. And Drake didn't have a check out. He didn't have a call, a hot route, and then he would snap the ball, and all the receivers are going downfield. There's not one guy that was running a hot route. Drake didn't call one hot route for a guy to just, oh, my guy's blitzing. Let me just turn around and literally catch the ball and then fall forward for 5 yards.
It was a fucking canyon in the middle of the field.
You didn't see that one time. You didn't see it one time. They kept having them go downfield. Where was the crossers, the shallow crossers, especially on the friggin' hot routes? When you saw, we were all watching the goddamn game. We saw, okay, 5 is coming, 6 is coming. We all saw it, and we're like, wait, Drake's not checking. He's not checking. Why is he not checking? What the hell's going on here? Why is he not checking? And sure enough, he didn't check, and he got fucking muckled. So where was Josh McDaniels say, bro, you need to check into a hot route on that friggin' situation? And that's the story of the damn game. And the uglies are another whole ugly thing that I'll get into that. But my one takeaway is Josh McDaniels not recognizing how to help Drake May. Now, we can say that they didn't chip enough on the left-hand side, but you can only double team so many times. You can't double team every single time. And they went away from it, and they only went with 6 men offensive line, the 6-man line with Thayer Munford or whatever as the extra blocker. One snap. and that was in the first half. And when they do that with the extra linemen, Drake always ends up having a little bit of extra time. They went completely away from it. It makes absolutely no sense. I don't know what Josh McDaniels was thinking. Sometimes I think he's too smart for his own good. Just have a guy turn around and catch it for 3 yards and fall down. You do that 3 times, you get a first down there, Joshy. So the fact that he didn't adjust his game plan really bothered me. So that's my bad. My other bad is the edges on the defense. Landry and friggin' Caleb Chason and whoever else you want to lump in there, Anthony Jennings or Elijah Ponder. Kenneth Walker destroyed our edges. Destroyed. Our edges were not protected in any way whatsoever. He kept, he set us up. He would grab the ball, wait for the edges to implode, and then just run right around the guy that's crashing down when the guy's supposed to be setting the edge and holding his boundary. And they weren't doing that. They kept crashing down. And now Kenneth Walker's the friggin' MVP of the Super Bowl because he would just wait. And look, I have to give it to Kenneth Walker because his patience as a runner in that game was second to none. He would wait for the defense to declare, and then he would make his move. And he just gashed us on the edges all day long. So those are my 2 bads, Josh McDaniels' game plan and the edge rushers in particular. We need to get edge rushers in free agency and the draft this year. Caleb Chason had a great year, but he got absolutely exposed. And the other guys you're asking to do it are journeymen. Elijah Ponder, Anthony Jennings, Harold Landry's still beat up. He's going to beat up MCL. We need edge rushers. So the edge rushers were a big problem for me in this game.
Well, since we're going the Josh McDaniels route, I'm going to change Josh McDaniels to my bad, even though he's technically my ugly.
Well, I didn't steal your thunder, did I, Joe?
No, we're all saying the same thing, it's just the most glaringly obvious thing. It's like we took everything we learned this season and fucking threw it out the window and started over. That's what it felt like to me. It's like, okay, we had all these games where we were getting a ton of pressure. We relieved a lot of these things by some short passes to Hunter Henry in the middle. Ramondre Stevenson catching. Remember it was the Texans game, I think. Ramondre Stevenson catching balls over the middle and taking it for 20 yards. Like that was wide open. I was going into the third quarter and it's down 9-0. And I said to myself before the game started, I said, we're probably going to be down 10. I don't know why I had that number in my head, but I was like, if we're down 10, I feel like that's pretty good because this our slow start narrative, right? We've had slow starts all year. So going into the second half, I was like, all right, in my mind, pre-wired to 10. I said, all right, going into half, talking to my buddies, I'm like, all right, Josh McDaniels has to look at this team and go, hey, receivers, if your guy blitzes, your route automatically changes. You are running a slant or a comeback or a curl or something, right? That
a hot route, any hot route.
I don't know how that doesn't get said, right? As an offensive coordinator, you say, all right, guys, second half, here's what's going to happen. If they send your guy, you are not running a fucking post. You're running a goddamn slant or you're running whatever the hot route is. That just takes the decision away from Drake May instantly, right? And you tell Drake May the same thing. Listen, this is the plan. You don't have to do shit. These guys, if their guys come, they're running a slant, fucking get rid of the ball. That's it. It's very simple. You can dumb it down.
Very simple. It's very simple,
right? You saw the clips of Julian Love and these guys saying, oh, he's got tells. Once he steps on his back foot, that's it. You know, he's releasing and he waits for the guy to get open. He's not like Stafford. I just watched the clip, right? These guys, he's a young quarterback. He's got a lot of tells. He's got a lot of things. He's the game's running a little too fast for him still. It happened to Brady. It happened to Allen. It happened to all these guys. That's part of my bad, right? Part of my bad is Drake May and his location of every football he threw was none of them were perfect. I'd say maybe the Matt Collins touchdown was perfect.
The one before was pretty perfect too. The one.
Oh yeah, the level, the drop in, the level throw. Yeah,
that was
right,
an absolute fucking dot.
Yeah, that was a tiered throw. That was an elite. That was an elite.
Insane throw. Yeah.
Yes, the tiered throw to Matt Collins over the middle, 100%. But
that route was available all day long. Matt Collins was open over the middle all day long,
and so was
Drake
Diggs,
couldn't hit him.
Douglas, and so is Austin Hooper, and so I mean, there's tape. You watch the all 22.
Well, that'll be in my ugly category, but anyway.
Yeah. But but Josh McDaniels, man, like this is all that I left this game confirming was that it was Brady. It was Brady. It was not Josh McDaniels. And because I said to walk in this game and said, how many Super Bowls has Josh McDaniels coached in? What, 9, 10? I don't even fucking know.
9.
Yeah, 9. So, like, at this point, I expected way more. I said, going into this game, we got Vrabel, who's played. We got Josh McDaniels. We got Milton Williams. We got all this fucking Super Bowl experience. To go do that, like, that's fucking wrong. That's just, to me, I don't know. I'm not saying the answer is fire Josh McDaniels by any means, but I agree with Bry. Like, I would not that I would have rathered Ben Johnson because you weren't going to get him as an offensive coordinator, as a head coach. And I do like Vrabel. I like what he's doing to the team. I like how he sticks to his guns. But yeah, the creativity just it's we saw glimpses of it here and there, but was it really that creative? And do you, like we were all saying, like, he's held back so much, he's got to have some bangers for the fucking Super Bowl. And what did he have? He had the exact fucking opposite.
This is a guy. Hold on. Sorry to interrupt, but this is a guy that said before the fucking season started, he went on the Julian Edelman podcast or whatever. And he's like, I went to like the Kyle Shanahan college and I looked at some new concepts and some West Coast concepts and I picked up a couple things and I really learned about this. You didn't learn dick shit, man. You didn't do nothing. It was fucking horrendous. What did you go there and learn? And like, you actually could have. College coaches might have been able to call a better fucking game than that. That's how fucking pathetic that was. Like, that was pathetic.
But Joe, do you think that Mike Vrabel is really kind of sticking to his guns a little bit too much by sticking with the left-hand side of the line there?
Yes.
I think the answer is yes. Now, if you would have asked me this with Ramondre, I would have said the same thing, but he was right there, right? So every time he does this, he sometimes confirms what he's doing, but at some point it's gonna bite him, and it could be next year. Who knows when he?
I know it's revisionist history, but does anybody think Ben Brown might have been a better option at left guard than Jared Wilson?
Vidarian Lowe.
Vidarian Lowe. Those guys got cooked on stunts all game long, and we haven't even gotten to our ugly yet, but those guys, especially Jared Wilson, and I'll get to Will Campbell, but Jared Wilson got cooked on stunts all day long. I know Ben Brown's better at that, so do we question Mike Vrabel for sticking too hard to his guys?
Doug Marrone is awesome, guys. I know his name, and he's really good because I know who he is. He's really awesome. I've never been to one practice, but I could tell you that this is what we heard all year. Oh, he's really awesome.
No sarcasm.
He's really awesome, guys. Yeah, I see his rookies getting obliterated by stunts, and they don't know what's going on. But he's actually really good, because I know his name.
I blame Vrabel more because you know who has the final say in that situation? It's fucking Vrabel.
Listen, don't we have like 3 offensive line coaches or some shit? Isn't it Bush and Foxborough?
And none of them know anything.
I have the 3 fucking stooges. Like, oh, this guy, I learned from him. 3 fucking offensive line coaches, and none of these fucking guys could tell you that these fucking kids couldn't handle a fucking stunt. Like, we're over here sitting fucking in my couch in fucking Florida and looking at them like, yeah, these guys can't handle us.
Seriously.
My fucking 10-year-old was like, why is that guy letting the other guy hit him? I'm like, I don't know. How the fuck does that happen? Because we have 3 offensive line coaches, and all I heard was like, oh, Forge and Foxborough, these guys, they get together and they share game plans. And you tell me these fucking stooges couldn't fucking tell you that Ben Brown was a better option? Jared Wilson should have been benched 3 games ago. 3 fucking games ago, he was that
100%.
bad. Jared Wilson, low-key, has been as bad as Will Campbell, if not worse. But since Campbell is the left tackle, he takes all the fucking. I saw Wilson literally push a fucking defenseman into a sack into Drake May in the Super Bowl. If you watch the fucking play, literally, the guy gets blocked on a chip, and then Wilson pushes him into May, and I'm like, oh, that's our fucking guy. That's our left guard.
You're right. You're exactly. I remember that play. You're right.
Hey, Jeff Stoutland's available. Jeff Stoutland just left the Eagles.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's in high demand, man. I don't know if he's coming over here. I don't think he's a Vrabel guy anyway.
No,
but it would be nice.
But
really no, I agree, Joe. The bottom line is, I agree with you. It is Vrabel's fault for sticking with this friggin' guys. This is
he has that mentality where it's like, nope, like I hear what everyone's saying, but I'm gonna do this. And he is stubborn to a fault, I would say, in that aspect.
He is. I agree.
Yeah, and you know what though, and this goes back full circle of what Brycen was telling you guys. This whole I'm gonna stick up for my guys and I'm sticking with my people and I'm sticking is the mentality that every fucking Patriots fan should be worried about, because now he's gonna think that he can bring the same fucking group back and they'll be better because culture and vibes and brotherhood and all this shit. Fuck all that. Get
We
rid of
need
fucking
talent.
habits. You
We
need to
need
upgrade
talent.
all the time, and now all of a sudden you fall into this pit where, oh well, Bravel's sticking to his guns. That means that Campbell's going to come back as a left tackle. He's our guy. Wilson's our left guard. Keishan Booty, he's our wide receiver. Diggs, he's our number one guy. Like, you're bringing all these guys back, and all of a sudden you think you can fucking bring everyone back and just drop a little magic, and all these guys will be better, because these are your guys. Bullshit, man. Upgrade the roster. We have holes everywhere on offense. Everywhere.
I agree. I agree 100%.
I live somewhere in the middle. I live somewhere in the middle of that. I think you can't give up on guys too early, one. But
we need more talent.
Where you know you have deficiencies, right? You don't have a number one receiver. You have a bunch of 2s and 3s. This has been the problem with the Patriots for how many years? We've gotten better, right? Last year, we had nobody that could catch the ball. We had nobody that could separate. We had nothing. Now we're making incremental steps. What you have to realize, Diggs is $20 million in this option. We're never paying him that. And, oh, by the way, there's a ton of options out there this year for receiver, right? Ton of good options that are better than Diggs. Let's just be honest. Diggs is a possession receiver. He's great at yak, but there's plenty of those guys out there for cheap money. So you have to make strides. You have to get a better tight end. You have to do it. Hunter Henry ain't it. Austin Hooper's a great 2. Hunter Henry's a great 2, but you need someone that's like, look at these guys, Harold Fannin, 3rd round pick, right? These young guys. Tyler Warren obviously drafted highly. Loveland drafted highly. But there's guys in the 3rd, 4th round. Heck, there's guys in other teams. There's freaking Dallas Goedert. There's plenty of other options out there. We have to make changes. We have to. I 100% agree.
Do you put any stock into the locker room presence that Stephon Diggs has? Because obviously he's the spokesperson for the team. So do you think that would help or hurt going into next season?
I think he's a time bomb. I still think he's a time bomb.
All right. I'll give you that. I
still think he's a time bomb, and I think he's good but not great. And you can get that for cheaper, and he's going to get paid. Someone's going to pay him 12 to 15 million.
So you don't want to bring him back?
I don't unless it's cheap, unless it's 10 million, unless it's a discount. No, I don't.
Nobody wants to talk about this, and nobody says there's a lot. I said it a lot about Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry has been flat out just bad. And he's been bad for like a good 6 to 7 weeks now. Like it's been
block.
He's not been good at all.
It's not just that, guys. I said this in the chat. It's like once a play did Hunter Henry almost cause an interception play?
Yes.
It's like once a game now, dude.
Yes,
and it's too many times for me to think that it's Drake, really. And if you guys watch, and I'm not really the biggest fan, but Theo Ash had a breakdown of Drake's play today. I retweeted it. And there was a lot of times where you can actually see it's like guys are not sitting in the right spot in the zone. And yeah, Drake made some bad plays, but there's a lot of times. And Hunter Henry is so guilty of this all year long. It's like, he should have run a streak and then he didn't stop. And it's like every game I knew we were going to get one of these, and it's just demoralizing, man.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I tweeted it out. I mean, like obviously I still want a number one wide receiver. Like I look at models around the league of teams with top tier talent. Devontae Smith got drafted and then we do after AJ Brown in Philly. Amon-Ra St. Brown was drafted in Detroit. That didn't stop them from getting Jameson Williams. You need in today's NFL, you need multiple weapons for your quarterback, no matter how good he is, because then I don't want to be the next Josh Allen, where Josh Allen has to play hero ball because he has to carry the fucking roster, because that roster is not good enough to do plays for Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's literally forced into doing everything himself. You can't make Drake May be that kind of quarterback. Put talent around him. Drake will continue to elevate his game. I trust in him. Just don't fucking just see that, He carried the roster with these guys, so we just give him more mediocre players. He's on a rookie contract right now. You have Drake playing at a rookie deal. This is when you go for it.
Yep.
Everybody keeps saying we have an elite defense. The defense I think is pretty good. This is when you go out now and go balls in and give him everything he needs to be successful. This is your window. Do it. Do it now.
Can I give you a
Pickens and
dilemma?
AJ Brown.
What'd you say, Brycen?
Can I give you guys a dilemma real quick?
Of course.
It's a funny thought experiment. Before the year, it was like, you got to draft a left tackle. You're going to get Drake May killed. And I was like, look, guys, what about Ted? This is my guy right here. Just draft him. He's awesome. He's big. He's fast. He's quick. He's got amazing hands. I love his swagger. He's got aura. He's sick. He looks max. He's beautiful. Pause. I'm like, I love this guy, right? I'm like, draft him. And the pushback I got was, look, Drake is going to get killed, okay? He's going to be sacked a million times. If you draft Ted, he's going to get killed. And I'm like, okay, fair point. So then I look at the box score after the year, and I'm like, oh, wow. So Drake got sacked 75 times this year. Drake May got sacked almost 75 times in total this year. It was over 70. It was 50-some in the season and 21 in the playoffs, I think. It was like 70-some times he got sacked, not counting him just getting hit, right? And so you drafted a left tackle at number 4, and you still are in the same dilemma. And they're going to say to me, well, the line's bad, so it wouldn't have helped to have Ted. It's like, okay, well, the line is – then you just admitted the line is bad and nothing else because the line is – it's like we just go in this complete circle of like the line is bad. Okay, well, you can't have Ted because the line is bad. So all of these problems would have been solved just by drafting Ted at number 4. And, people don't like to hear that, but I would feel much better about the season if you were going in and thinking, you know what, we could just extend low. We have Ted. We could maybe draft another guy. We'll draft 2 tackles and see if one of them works out.
Joe wanted that. Joe wanted Ted. I know that he wanted Ted, and I said no, and I was wrong because Ted had a fantastic season. So my
logic was Ted is a
he was right. He was
Ted
right.
is a bona fide Mike Evans clone. He is literally Mike Evans. That's
he played well. He played well.
So, my thought was Ted, and then I wanted Luther Burden bad. And I was to the point where I said, if we don't get Ted, let's trade up and go get Luther Burden. And then Luther Burden fell into our lap. And then to the point where the Bears were calling us to try to get our pick because they were like, fuck, the Patriots need a receiver. They're going to take Luther Burden. We said,
we took Travion.
We took Travion instead. Yeah. And so think about it, right? Think about it. Imagine if you drafted Ted McMillan and Luther Burden. Fucking problem solved.
But they won't do that because people will be like, "Oh, you just 2 picks on a way." It's like, yes, dude, that's how you're investing in 2
Luther Burden
assets.
next year. Luther Burden next year will overtake Roma Dunze. He's that talented. I'm calling that now.
You know how you don't get your fucking quarterback killed by guys getting open so quick, or maybe defensive backs not crowding the line of scrimmage and blitzing you at free will, because they have to worry about Ted McMillan and Luther fucking Burden on the fucking outside. That's what you do.
Yeah, but Brian,
that's
Drake
what you do.
Sacked 70 times.
Oh my God!
And now we're stuck with Kyle Williams.
Oh, by the way, we're going back into 2026 season with left tackle questions, by the way, and still no answers at wide receiver as a true one. And this class does not have a legitimate one that we can get.
Whoa.
That's actually perfect. We can just get right into my ugly then.
So we didn't even get into our uglies.
All right. As if you thought it wasn't ugly already. Brycen, give us the ugly.
You guys give me the sage. Do I have free reign?
Get the ugly. I want to hear it.
I've been practicing
this
this
is Vegas, baby.
all day long. Okay.
Go crazy.
Listen to me. Okay. Listen, haters. Listen. I was right. Let me give you the timeline.
Let me count the ways.
Preach it.
I shift the Overton window. I talk about stuff no one wants to talk about first. I'm not afraid. I'm not like our buddy Savage who, once it's 51%, then he'll start talking about it. I love the guy, but this is what he does. But I'm the first one, and then I get everyone else riled up, and then they hate me, and then a bunch of people agree. So this is what I did. I'm like, no, I like Ted. This is the guy. And here is the timeline for you. And this is exactly what I said about Will all year long. I said, this is an A+ run blocker. This is a C+ pass blocker. You will see this all year long. No less, no more. You will see exactly this. And so I said this during the year. Happened. And people are having amnesia now. So I want to remind you what the timeline exactly looks like and what we fought against all summer. So in the summer, it started. Keon White destroys Will Campbell every practice to the point where beat writers are saying, oh, well, Will Campbell actually won a rep, and they're nervous
To
and
the
scared
point
to
that
death.
they
They
had
don't
to
want to
trade the guy. They had to trade him.
Yeah, they didn't want to talk about this. And then you have people like there's someone on the timeline. I won't say his name.
He got shot in the ankle. You guys see that? Keon White got shot in the ankle.
Damn, that's
at
rough.
his strip club party. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
amen.
digress.
But he would still get a sack fumble on Will Campbell.
Exactly.
With the bullet still in. With the bullet still in.
That's the timeline. So in the summer, I'm like, look, Keon White, he's actually really good. You don't understand. Yeah, what was he doing? He was like waiting to be signed by some team, right? It's like, this is Keon White. He's really good. Where beat writers are scared to death. And they're like, Will Campbell, guys, he actually won a rep in practice today. And it was all summer. And I'm like, dude, what is going on here? And I get schizophrenic in the summertime when this happens because I go to these practices sometimes and I don't see what they're seeing because they're scared of saying it. And I'm like, dude, what is good? This is not good. I'm seeing the clips in training camp and joint practices. It's not good. And then we get to the regular season, okay? And people are going to forget this part. We get to the Raiders game. It was like bad penalty, sack, getting abused, whatever. And then they're like, well, in three snaps against Max Crosby, he actually did really good, see? And I'm like, dude, they kept saying, well, other than the sack, he did really good. Other than the sack and the penalty, he was awesome. And I was like, dude, what are we talking about right now? And then we get to the Steelers game. He gets abused. I dare you to go rewatch that film. Go watch the film right now. I dare you to go watch the film. It's terrible. No. It's NFL. No. It's like, and I was like, this is the worst tape I've ever. This is like, I swear, if another offensive.
Are you serious? That Steelers game in particular was what did it for you?
Yes.
He's that bad in that game.
Bad.
Go look it up. Nick Herbig. Look up Herbig.
Oh, Herbig. That guy abused him.
Fucking, yeah.
There's clips of it everywhere, and he gets demolished by Herbig. He takes his lunch.
I remember.
Every snap, he's taking his lunch, and I'm like, what is going on? Well, other than he didn't have 10 pressures, he had 8, and I'm like, dude, what are we talking about? Am I crazy? If Vidarian Lowe has 5 pressures in a game, you guys want him off the team. And this guy, he does. I'm like, dude, what is going on right now? I'm not a hater, by the way. Like I said, I want my team to do well. When I see players that are being overrated, I cannot stand it. And I'm like, okay, then we hit the Browns game, and you're like, okay, it's Myles Garrett. He gets abused, but it's Myles Garrett. I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll take a pass. So, then he gets hurt, and I've seen all of this. So I'm like, when the playoffs come, I'm like, this is going to be bad. And I swear, I come on this podcast. And there's a very wise person, and he says, do not tell them the truth. You have to joke. If you do not joke and you tell the truth, they will kill you. And that's how it works. And that's why I mask all of
Wait, who said this? Who said that?
Hey, look up the quote. There's a wise man that said, if you tell them the truth without joking,
I thought you meant like one of us told you that. I'm like, what?
No, it was actually probably one of you, to be honest. But that's what they say. And so that's why a lot of times to like get you guys laughing a little bit and not think I'm crazy, I try to, get you to laugh and agree with me. And you'll be like, oh, maybe he's a little bit right. Maybe he's not so crazy. But I was on this podcast in this very same fourth corner right here. And I looked at these handsome gentlemen above me, pause. And I'm like, look, guys, I swear if the Patriots lose in the playoffs, the national conversation is going to be Will Campbell is an Amazon worker. He is going to be a national joke. And there was someone above me that was doing this.
It wasn't me, though. It was in the slot, though.
It had to have been me, though.
And he said,
no. It wasn't Mike. No, it wasn't Mike.
And said, Pete Collins, he said, and this is their friend, and he's a great guy, but I'm mad at him right now. He said, Bryce, he was like, he didn't even laugh at my monologue. He was so mad that I was being a genius. He was like, they will not be talking about Will Campbell, Bryce. Hey, Pete, check my Twitter timeline. 20,000 likes on a picture of Will Campbell being an Amazon worker. He's the laughing stock of the NFL right now.
Pete, are you listening, Pete?
500,000 impressions on this tweet with 20,000 likes, and it's one tweet. Pete, I just one-shotted your rhetoric to the dome. You are wrong.
You're hurting Joe. You're hurting Joe right in his soul.
Hey,
Joe loves those guys.
I love Pete. I love the Viz, but that shit's funny, and you gotta call it like you see it. I mean, that's all there is to it.
One-shotted. Will Campbell is a meme today, and all they can say is, well, he is his knee hurty a little bit. His knee hurty. Okay, I have sympathy for this guy. But fellas, I need an answer to this question. Where was Will Campbell on the injury report?
I can't help you.
Where was he after the game on the podium? That's
where was he on the injury report? He was nowhere to be found. He was like when Drake May was looking around while Seahawks defenders are climbing all over him. He was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere.
Why are you making excuses, Will Campbell? You're making all these excuses.
I didn't see a walking boot on fucking Will Campbell's foot walking out the locker room. I'm just telling you
guy.
Love of God.
And the reason why I say on X, and I'm like, he's a guard, shut up. It's not really because I actually mean that. I mean it in a way that I'm trying to get you guys to see something much deeper here, where it's like now we've moved the conversation to where we can actually talk. We can actually, no one's going to throw stuff at me online for saying, wait a minute, 10 pressures is bad? Well, he only had 8. Don't you see that he had 8 and it really wasn't that bad? I'm like, what are we talking about? And then all playoffs long, he gets dominated. Every single game he gets dominated. And this is your number 4 pick. And people are going to use this statement. And development is different for especially like quarterbacks, because quarterbacks can undergo a sort of mental maturation like we're talking about here. We're speeding up the game, slowing down the game. Watch those. N'Keal Harry never got better. Ever. Time is not ever.
Oh, come on.
Don't compare him to him. Come on.
That's good. That's rich.
That is rough. That's rough.
Everyone on there, they laughed at me. I said Sony Michel will be out of the league in 4 years. He was gone.
That's true. That's true for sure.
I'm telling you, and reminder, I told you what the grade was. A+ run blocker, C+ pass blocker. If the Patriots go into the season again and they think, and I understand Mike Vrabel is going to have to say, that's my guy. I understand that. I actually do respect that. You don't go up there and you don't crap on your guy after the game. That's not what you do. You defend him, okay? You let me be the bad guy on here. You let Will Campbell get on there on his interviews, and this is what people on X, they're stupid. They can just run their mouth. And then when someone puts a microphone in his face, he goes, I don't want any part of this anymore. Look at that. We just one-shotted Will Campbell FC. You are wrong. He
deserves it. He deserves it. I don't care.
550,000 impressions, 19,000 likes.
And you know what? It's not enough. That shit should have 1 fucking million impressions and over 40,000 likes, because that's what he deserves. The Super Bowl was watched by 135 million people, and 135 million people saw fucking Will Campbell not being able to block a fucking rabbit. Nothing. That motherfucker could block shit.
And this is mean. This was mean by me, okay? I'm not happy about doing that. I don't like that. It's funny.
I'm not mad at you.
I don't like doing that because these guys they're human beings, but I want that tweet to be on a Will Campbell highlight next year when he allows only 10 pressures all year long. I want him to be great, okay? I'm dead serious about that. I would rather be wrong than right, okay? But in this instance, you cannot deny that I one-shotted Will Campbell FC from the very start. I put my sights right on them and I said, this is a guard. You are wrong. And all year long, they ravaged against me. And in the end, I prevailed. So I can take my Super Bowl loss, but I have 1 win of the playoffs. And that's Brycen, Will Campbell is bad.
You got major WWE heel vibes. I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah!
All right, Bri, give us the ugly.
I don't know how
he
the
only
fuck I
gave us
follow
one-
that
he
up.
only gave
How do
us
you follow
one of
that
the
up?
ugly.
You had a whole
That's it.
fucking monologue.
I don't even know how the fuck I follow that, but I think there's a connection with my ugly, and again, my ugly goes back to the beginning of the year. And again, it's drafting Travion Henderson over Luther Burton, and then I think the ugly right here for me is fucking Elliot Wolf, and I think this is a guy who the year before gave me a draft of Drake May and a bunch of dog shit. Then you go and take a fucking guard at tackle at 4. You pass up Ted. You pass up a receiver. You take the running back, and you luck into Craig Woodson. I feel like Craig Woodson and Drake May, which is the obvious pick, have been his best 2 fucking picks as in this entire draft, honestly. And I'm really fucking sick of Elliot Wolf. I'm sick of your shit, Elliot Wolf. And if you don't fucking do the right thing this summer and get me the guys that I want, I swear to God, I'm gonna make your life live in hell. I can't stand Elliot Wolf. Drake May fell into your lap, and then you proceeded by giving me the worst fucking draft in Patriots history. I mean, if you think about it, that draft is dog shit.
And
Caden
Brian,
Wallace.
he did all offense the year before.
No, I don't make me fucking kill myself now. I it's just so ugly. So ugly. It's so egregious, some of the things that he's done. And I feel like he should skirt it behind and just kind of like, being behind the scenes and not. Elliot Wolf has been one of the fucking ugliest things I think that's on this roster. I still can't stand. I didn't like the fact that he stayed. He was allowed to stay when Bravo came on even, and it just proves to me that he is just like I can't stand him. Like
He's
is
a
just
fucking cockroach. He's a
I
cockroach.
I think
Right.
he's just the. This is by the way, this is a guy who the previous season you knew you didn't have. You had issues at tackle already, right? And you did fucking nothing. And then you got lucky that a 35-year-old guy in Moses held up throughout the season. And then you took Campbell when there was much better options in his entire it's just. And then the Travion Henderson pick still irks me to no fucking end. But it's more about the previous season, how you gave me dog shit. And man, I don't know. There's just so much ugly, honestly, that I could pick from. I think that the monologue here that fucking Brycen did was pretty. I mean, Will Campbell. I thought it was a pretty obvious pick. I wasn't gonna just, I knew that at least all 4 of us had him as in the ugly category. But man, Elliot Wolf.
Yeah,
I'm going to fucking murder you if you fucking go and fucking get me another fucking center or guard, or if you're gonna draft me, if you fucking draft me a linebacker in the first round, I'm gonna be fucking furious.
The LFG
Like
podcast
I am
does
just
not condone
so
murder.
fed up. Yeah.
Fair.
No, I will murder you, Elliot Wolf. I'm coming
the
for you.
LFG podcast does not condone murder.
It's tough, but I think he's kind of at the mercy of Ryan Coden and Mike Vrabel. I think this time around they're gonna tell Elliot Wolf what to do, but that doesn't make it okay what he's done so far. But as far as I'm gonna make it very short and sweet. We're wrapping it up here, but my uglies right here are everything you guys talked about. I chain the 2 things together, the Drake May and Will Campbell issues. I chain those things both, like they're both connected at the same hip. So Will Campbell has done such a poor job in the playoffs. Every time you're looking at the TV and you see that right edge coming off, Drake either steps up and makes a play, or he doesn't and he gets sacked, or he gets strip sacked, or he throws some kind of wild, crazy play. Those 2 guys are connected together. So they're the ugly. They are the ugly in this offense right now. They need to work together. Drake May's clock has been all off kilter this whole entire playoffs, and he finally ended up getting exposed. And he was very lucky because we faced some really great defenses in the playoffs leading up to that. He got lucky, but we could all see him barely barely escaping that guy on that corner and to try to make a play or make a mistake. And it finally caught up to him in the Super Bowl, and they both made enough mistakes. You know, Next Gen Stats has Will Campbell as 14 pressures, for crying out loud. And then Greg Bedard was a little bit kinder today. He had him for 11 and a half, but still 11 and a half.
That's good.
11 and a half.
That's good.
For the
That's good. I like
crying out
11 and a half.
loud.
It's not
Give me a
14,
freaking
Mike. You need to chill out. All right.
Jesus
Not 14.
Christ. And then friggin' and then Jared Wilson is getting beat on stunts 5 times. I saw 5 times he got beat on a stunt, and the guy came right inside. He has no clue how to work stunts, and that to me speaks to Mike Vrabel that he's insisting these rookies figure it out in real time. You can't do that in the goddamn suit. You can do that in the regular season. You can even do it in the playoffs. Don't do it in the goddamn Super Bowl. And Mike Vrabel is to fault because he insisted those guys, no matter what the offensive line, I know there's a bunch of offensive line coaches and all that, Doug Marrone and the other 2 guys, Jason Hotailing and one other guy, whatever his name is. But if Mike Vrabel says, hey, they're staying here, so you need to coach that up, what are those going to say? No, he's not starting. Somebody else is going to start. So they have to do it. So the ugly is Drake May and Will Campbell. Those 2 dudes they were attached at the hip all throughout the playoffs, and they're going to be attached at the hip in this upcoming season because we all heard Mike Vrabel's press conference. He said, what do you want me to do? Start him at guard, start him at center, start him at tight end. I'm going to start him he's starting at left tackle. That's it. That's his position. That's what he's doing. All right, fine, great. Go right ahead, but coach the guy up. And by the way, those 2 guys that are attached at the hip right now, they both need to hit the weight room, okay? You see their friggin' biceps? They both need to hit the weight room. Will Campbell doesn't have enough upper body strength. I know that he has an issue with his knee. I know Drake might have had an issue with his shoulder, but both of their arms are rail thin. Just get a little more bulk on it in the OTAs. Just that's all I'm asking for. Get a little more bulk on it, but you guys are the 2 uglies for this particular game.
How about no chugging beers at Celtics games?
That would help. It would help. It's all carbs, you know. It would help.
How cool was that when everyone was like, this is so awesome that our left tackle that it should be rehabbing right now is out chugging a beer with the shirt off. I love this.
You know what I thought? I thought, look at that doughboy. I was like, this kid's a doughboy.
I hate this so much. He should be at home sitting, looking at the ceiling and thinking, how do I recover like Wolverine?
I agree. He needs to get in the gym.
So my ugly was Josh McDaniels, but I think I'm gonna harp off Bryson's one of his, I don't know if it was his ugly or his bad. I think it was his bad at this point, but what we did to Brady for years with these mediocre players, scrapping together these pieces to kind of make it seem like we have an offense. And sometimes it worked because, Brady would hit a million different targets and dink and dunk his way into, a ton of efficiency and a ton of and a ton of wins, right? And that worked. The window is now, and Bri, you talked about this with the rookie contract. You have to, I don't care. All right, there's a few different things you can approach this, right? You got guys like the guy in Dallas who's Pickens. You got Pickens in Dallas, who's potentially available. You got AJ Brown. You got Mike Evans, who's got kind of a half a player at this point. He might get half a season out of him, but that's an option. But one of them needs to be a marquee player. You got guys like Carnell Tate that are coming out, right? Ohio State just shits out receivers. You're not going to get Jeremiah Smith the following year, right? Because he's going to be a top 4 or 5 pick.
Joe, that's for our next episodes. We need to fill time on our next episode.
Oh no, don't worry. We have plenty of other guys to talk about. All I'm saying is this is the time. Surround your guy. He's your guy. This isn't Mac Jones. This isn't, this isn't fool's gold. This is Drake May. Give him somebody when he's in trouble. He can throw a 50-50 ball up and be confident that they're going to be able to get it. And that's someone that can get clear separation that you need to double team. There's no other way to put it. You can't cobble together these offenses. I'm perfectly fine with the defense. They're going to find the right personnel there. We got the base of Gonzo, Milton Williams, and Barmore, who kind of disappeared in the Super Bowl, so that's kind of ugly too. And you got Spillane. I think they'll re-sign him. Gibbons, right? You got enough pieces there on defense. Hyper focus on the offense, guys. Like this cannot be ugly. We cannot go into our schedule next year is very, very difficult. We have a lot of teams, and guess what? The NFC, these problems don't exist. When you're Matt Stafford, you got Puka Nacua, you got Kyron Williams, you got an all-pro line, you got Devontae Adams. You're the Seahawks. We just played them. They got all-stars everywhere, solid offensive line. So like the NFC doesn't have these problems because they don't have years of terrible drafting. We have to make up. So to do that for these bad years of drafting, you're going to have to do both. You're going to have to draft and you're going to have to make big splashes like the Milton Williams splash. But you got to focus on the offense. You got to surround Drake May. You cannot put it on his back third year. You're going to see a crumble from, I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it now. This is my shot. This will be ugly for next year if you do not put superstars around this kid because he needs someone to take a little bit of pressure off him so that he can flourish, so that he can get better and grow, or else you'll just stifle him. His confidence right now is at an all-time low. And I think the only thing you can do is surround this kid with talent. And that's all I'll say for next year. That's my ugly, because I do fear Bryson's gut nailed it on the head. I kind of had a mini epiphany there, Brycen, when you said that. I'm like, you know what? Bryson's speaking the truth of the narrative. That's the narrative. That is the narrative that we have to fight.
Exactly. So if you're a Patriots fan and you're watching this, hear me out. Do not see my words as I'm hating on your favorite team. I'm with you. I'm locking hands. We are going at this war together, but we need to have better weaponry. Okay. So we can't go through this offseason just, oh no, you can't be defending the same mid. That's what I say, defending mid. You cannot do that. You have to go through this offseason. Your voice matters. 5 of us, 10 of us, 500, 1,000 of us need to be saying stuff like he just said. We need to be demanding. Okay. I hate mock drafts so bad. Okay. But if I see one of your mock drafts that doesn't have 4 wide receivers in it and 4 tight ends, it is dead to me. Okay.
Scrap it.
When Gerard Mayo, I probably shouldn't say this, when Gerard Mayo got fired, before, when it was quiet, no one wanted to say anything. Every time a big platform talked about it, I messaged them. I said, "Good job," and they were like, "Oh, I didn't really mean it like that." I'm like, "No, I'm serious. Keep doing it." And then they did, right? So every time you do this, if you're a big account, if you're a little account, fund the propaganda. That's what it's all about. We don't care. I don't care about you getting picked 31 right. I don't care about you getting picked 64, 63. I don't do math right. Okay. I want you to go out there and spread the propaganda that we need to weaponize this offense. Hey, I'll trade you. Take your Will Campbell. Give me my wide receivers now.
I'm with you.
No more complacency.
Amen.
No more complacency, man. The time is now. The time is now. And Elliot Wolf, I will fucking kill you.
I'm with you.
Looking
I'm
right
with
at
that.
you.
I'm with
I'll
that.
kill you.
I might go slow death. I might go anthrax. I might just go,
No.
I have no part of this. I am a peaceful person.
Elliot Wolf, you're not that much taller than me. I'll fuck you up.
I agree though, Brycen. We go heavy, right? This is like in 40-Year-Old Virgin where he said you plant a bunch of seeds and the seeds turn into plants
and then you fuck the seed. You fuck the plant.
But listen, I agree. And then you burn it down. No, seriously though, guys, this has been a pleasure. It is not the podcast we wanted, but it's the podcast we needed, right? It's not the one
we're
we
all
wanted,
right.
but we needed this. This is a good reset. It's a harsh reset for next year. Now we're going to be all cooked up for this draft, for free agency, right? There's a lot of shit that's going to be happening. There's going to be trades before this draft. I guarantee it. A lot of unhappy people. I don't know how the Browns hang on to Myles Garrett. How do you waste the end of Myles Garrett's career like this and not get value and rebuild? To me, that's always been a funny thing. It's like Tyreek Hill. I was screaming before the season, why the fuck do the Dolphins have Tyreek Hill? Trade him now while you can still get value because you have no shot of doing anything. And now look, he's gonna be this year. He's still under contract, but like he's coming back from a major leg injury. like you're fucked.
You're on your own. I don't want nothing to do with
Listen,
that
we
guy.
had it. We I think I did a podcast with you early in the season with you guys, and I told you AJ Brown. I don't give a fuck what happens. You give me AJ Brown in this team, and you put him on this team because at this point, having a guy out there that just at least scares anyone to put a corner or their best corner on them is good for everyone else. You put a real one wide receiver, and guess Keyshawn Booty doesn't have to fucking go in against Derek Stingley Jr. and Patrick Surtain and all these fucking top tier guys. Now he can get the second and third cornerbacks instead of the first one. It makes everyone's life better. It makes matchups better. You need a one. You need a number one wide receiver. I don't know how they get it, but if AJ's there, I go and fucking do it. I pull the trigger. Get me all the receivers.
What is he,
all
28? He's 28 years old.
He's 28.
Let's go.
28.
What are we waiting for?
We'll see about the offseason in the subsequent episodes. Next week, we'll go into all of that stuff and who we could potentially sign.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to hit up free agency. We're going to hit up draft. We got ZB that's going to join us for the draft stuff. We got a lot of content, boys, but it's been a great season. We didn't like how it ended, but it's definitely a rebuild that where I'd say we're ahead. But there's still a lot to do, and the bar is super high now. The bar is super high. The time is now. We got to invest. We got to jack up this offense. We got to turn the heat up.
Indeed.
So I appreciate it, Brycen. Thank you for coming on. Always love the animated. I love the heel angle. It's amazing. And BriTalksPats, man, you see it just like we do. Whenever you're on, I'm like, fuck, he just said what I was gonna say. And but it's good. It's like we're all seeing the same things. We're all saying the same thing.
We're in flow.
That's it.
Absolutely.
We're in the flow.
Absolutely.
So, all right, boys. Well, great season. Thanks for coming on. And as always, let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.